Hello and welcome to the TPD presentation to the 2020-24 HorseTech conference, where I look forward to seeing you all in San Diego, California later on this week. David has kindly asked TPD to talk about what we're doing to harness data in a new era, and that is what we will run you through this presentation, which will only be 10 or 12 slides. And I'll try and move it into presentation mode in 1 second. Presentation mode hopefully means we are presenting in a more slick manner. So hi and welcome to the TPD presentation for the HorseTech conference in 2024 in San Diego. Thank you to David for putting on this event. Definitely exciting times to talk about the new era in horse racing, thanks to the amount of data that we have been able to harness over the course of effectively a sort of 7 or 8 year project, where I left the world of financial data and owning racehorses on the side to put those two hobbies together. I'm currently an owner still in rehab from some ups and downs of racehorse ownership, but looking to return there one day when the children have fledged the nest and TPD's become even more successful. But no, it's been great fun. We've tracked 1.5 million horses in 150,000 races, live data from 120 racetracks, and that's across 12 countries. So we'll go into some detail as to how we've done that and what we're going to do with the data. First thing to sort of say is the purpose we feel for us is not technology for technology's sake. We're not looking to provide the best mousetrap. We're looking to provide the most scalable, affordable, and brilliant kind of service that allows stories to be told to amplify the excitement. Do take a look at TPD Zone on Twitter and find some of the partnerships that we've done around the Triple Crown earlier this year with World Horseracing, who did a very good job of sort of overlaying data, really rich data on a sort of video replay of the race. And this was that thrilling Kentucky Derby photo finish between Mystic Dan, Forever Young, who we will see on Saturday night, and Sierra Leone, who we'll probably see on Saturday night, I'm not quite sure. Really harnessing the content to amplify the excitement. We are, after all, in the entertainment business, whether you like it or not. Fans matter, eyeballs, attendances. It's not just about how good the technology is. Just to back up where we operate, so we're the biggest player by some distance in what we do here. We are live in the following countries. Started in the UK, then we went quickly to the USA, where we work with Equibase. And since then, we've filled in lots of the Middle East, Chile, Jamaica, Saudi, and Germany. Most recently this year, we've rolled out to the whole of Germany inside 3 months. And we have a partnership agreement to receive the live tracking data from Australia and New Zealand. And sadly, Singapore is no longer. So in order to kind of put horse racing into a new era and to be able to harness the data, you've got to have data that is then a commercial, is funded by a commercially viable business. We're not funded by research grants or universities or one-off project-based stuff. We are a self-financing business because we create content at such a scale that we can sell it to Betfair, Bet365, Sky Bet, William Hill, Entain, Sky Sports Racing, and lots of the names on this slide here. So yeah, when you are omnipresent in all the big races, you can productize that data. You can commercialize that data, it becomes valuable, which drives financing back into the system to produce even better and richer data. So one of the things that the TPD is unique for is having a business model that got us to scale. Just to say here, TPD does a lot of services in-house that some of our competitors do not. We believe in being a one-stop shop from basically the product through to the betting opportunities it provides. So we provide our own in-play odds model, our own hardware, our own graphics system, our own betting visualizations, etc. Racing has a lot of partnerships with a lot of companies, and things get quite confusing and quite messy quite quickly given the hodgepodge of people that provide services on a race day. We try and do as many things as we can in-house And that's a big mantra for the company going forward. So how do we get to where we are? Well, the mandate was make it affordable, make it fast to install, make it easy to operate, support it well, and generate new revenue from the content. So yeah, we bring new revenue to our racecourse partners. We are not just an extra cost that they have to shoulder. And that's partly because we have a very light touch infrastructure. We have used satellites, accelerometers, and a radio frequency system to transmit the data. It's a very straightforward setup. One of the things I've been talking about recently is automated storytelling. A lot of people are not necessarily of the younger generation sitting and watching racing on a linear TV product. They're probably watching stuff as it passes across their social media channels. They may be watching it on YouTube. They may be watching it with the volume turned off. They want to see basically quick to understand stories as to what happened in the race. How did Fierceness win the Travers at Saratoga? Don't tell me that he kind of, bowled along in the, or had bowled along in the back straight, or has a dirt pedigree, or is trained by a trainer in form. They want to know he was first out of the gate, highest average speed, not the fastest overall, second fastest in the last 2 furlongs, second fastest just after the line, and then a couple of biometric measures underneath. This is what we can generate seconds after every single race we do around the world, and that's about 20 or 30,000 races a year. One of the other things to say behind the scenes, all of these pretty graphics and outputs, and obviously having great sensors on the track, you have to have a very, very well set up database inside the company that receives horse names, horse IDs, race going, betting data, the tracking data, and all the feedback data. So we have a very, very complicated matrix, very organized horse racing data that enables us to summarize it, such as the charts behind me, and that has taken quite a few years to get going. And the piece in orange here is the piece that relates to the in-play odds engine, where we are doing 2,000 calculations every horse every second to update the SP, the starting price, according to speed, position, pace, to come up with an in-play odds, which we send to bookmakers. So yeah, we are digitizing the racehorse. A couple of our sort of slightly closer up looks to our software R&D. We've been working on a computer vision model to harness the power of segmentation models that Meta released a while ago. We can train models to recognize the jockeys, recognize the silks, the jockeys, the number cloth, and effectively track the horse through the race, which means you can probably count whip strikes, rate jockeys' arm movements, and maybe count strides one day. So that'll be a good complement to our GPS tracking. Sensor fusion is definitely the way forward. F1 cars have 16 sensors per horse. Our horses have 2. Add the computer vision in, you've got 3. It's definitely about triangulating as many sources as you can for the best possible output. On the right hand side, just a flavor of some of the things that we've had to come up with to solve and make racing more accurate. So we have a gate device that offers gate to wire timing in America. We have the latest RTK tracking, which offers mega good accuracy. So going back to the first point, yeah, we have wireless timing eyes, and we have integrations with Jockey Cam to provide an enhanced Jockey Cam view, which you will see later on this week live from Del Mar. I'll skip over some of the new products that we're doing, but really just to say, productizing is the way. So we've sourced the data to create the new era for horse racing. We need to productize and surface this data that every horse in every race worldwide is wearing a device. What products can we do to make the sport richer? And we've got various ideas here. I guess I'll quickly talk about the runner status feed. That is basically giving you access to a feed that tells you 5 times a second whether a horse is saddling, parading, going down at the post, going behind, loading, or loaded. So it's a very, very precise set of updates leading up to the start of the race, which I think has a variety of interests, not just from CAWs, but everybody who wants to know when a race is gonna start accurately. Second one down, the performance metrics, is really an API feed or a web display of some of the metrics I'm talking about behind me. We're taking GPS, longitude, latitude, and raw accelerometer data and telling automatic stories from it. Should also say that Australian in-play odds are now being tested by 4 Aussie bookmakers, which is exciting. Here is some of the visual examples of how we sort of think about life and how our data is used. We really segment stuff into pre-race, live TV, live betting, and post-race. This is the beginning, not the end of the journey. A myriad of ways that this tracking data can be used. I always said we don't even know some of the uses that we're going to find from this data today that we're going to find out tomorrow. It's been exciting, and all the time we're coming up with new stuff. One of the projects that we've done this year at Keeneland is to surface our inertial data. So the device has an accelerometer in it, which broadcasts live stride frequency as well as position and speed. However, if we download from the device after the race, we can pull out the 200 hertz 7G inertial or 3-axis data to then basically start to dig into the balance of the horse and how much weight is on each legs, and it's kind of whether the effect of the turning tracks is putting more pressure on 2 legs rather than the outside 2 legs. Very exciting. As you can see, it's a very, very, very big data set to play with. We really look forward to doing that more next year. We're in a great position to do that because it's simply a case of downloading from devices which are already being worn in 4,500 fixtures a year. So we'll be doing much more of that. Final thing to say is there are reasons to be optimistic about horse racing and tracking technology. We're launching this week new metrics that will be displayed by at the races, such as the percentage of speed lost jumping every fence. I do like to remind people that horse racing's use of sensor technology actually surpasses all other sports in that it's live, accessible, and omnipresent across all races globally. Horse racing is by no means the richest sport out there, but the thoroughbred can carry sensors like an F1 car can, and the thoroughbred can share that data live with anybody who's interested. And that's in great contrast to some of the human sports where there's lots more data in training than there is during their matches due to media rights challenges. So long may that be the case, and I look forward to continuing to tell stories about the great thoroughbred more quickly. And let's hope we have a thrilling race on Saturday night. And if we do, we'll certainly tell that story. Thank you very much.